Welcome back to Get Connected. I'm your host, Conn Jackson. We're standing here in Prague in what they call the Old Town Square, which dates back to the 12th century. But right now we're coming to modern times with a beautiful voice of our time. Her name is Kristin Chenoweth. You know her from Glee. You also know her as in the play Wicked. She was Glenda, the Good Witch, and she's out with a brand new album. She's had a best-selling book, and we're going to talk to her about that album right now. Kristin, welcome to Get Connected.
Hey. Hi, Conn.
Well, Kristin, we're so glad to have you with us, and congratulations on this new album called Some Lessons Learned, and the fact that you've returned back to your good old country roots.
Thank you. I am so excited to have this record come out. I've wanted to do this my whole life.
Kristin, I am absolutely taken by your energy and your passion. Now, just a couple years ago, you wrote a New York Times best-selling book discussing the difficulties you've experienced through your journey in life so far. But I can imagine that it acted as sort of a catalyst to some of the songs that you wrote about. Which of the stories did you pick, and which were the hardest and most difficult to write about?
Oh gosh, anytime you write about hearts of the heart of a matter, which is obviously love lessons, that's personal. And there's a song I wrote on there with Desmond Child, who has many -- hits under his belt, and Eric Bazillion. They co-wrote a song with me called Mind to Love. And it's basically about a woman who is in love with somebody she shouldn't be in love with or can't have. And I know a lot of people on this planet can understand that. So, but it's always personal when you write a song. And there's another song, What Would Dolly Do, or WWDD, that I wrote with Desmond and another great songwriter, Shane McAnally. So these obviously are, it's different for me, but I've been writing since I was a little kid, but the world hasn't heard it until now. So I'm nervous. I hope it's accepted and liked, but I'm just happy that I got the opportunity to say what I want to say. And that's the best part about being an artist of any kind.
Well, you certainly make magic with those stories and your songs and the voice of yours. But let's go back. You're a girl that grew up in Oklahoma, and just by the chance of it, you end up in New York City with a friend. And tell us how the audition to play Arabelle Rittenhouse changed your life.
Wow, I'm impressed. It changed my life in the following ways. I grew up singing country and gospel music in Oklahoma. When I went to OCU, Oklahoma City University, my voice teacher, my mentor, Florence Birdwell, started opening up my voice to other kinds of music, which I really was reluctant to do in the beginning because I thought, I don't want to be an opera singer. And then, of course, I ended up getting my master's degree in opera. I'm so thankful for that education, for that training, because I think that's why I do different things with my voice, because, I've been trained to kind of be able to do what I want with it. But that show, I was headed to Philadelphia to become an opera singer and go to Curtis Institute of Music. And I auditioned for a show in New York to see how I would do for fun, and I got a part. And then I had a major life decision to make. Do you want to go to Broadway or do you want to do opera? I made the decision to go to New York and do Broadway, and I didn't go to the Opera Conservatory. And the great part about that is it's a lesson in following your heart. When everybody else in the world thinks you should do something, but you know in your heart you should do something else. And you know what's great is I got to do opera later anyway. I played the Met and New York City Opera. So I got to do it anyway and show that I'm a trained opera singer that way. And I still work on my voice, and I still take lessons. I love the instrument of voice and what it can do in all kinds of venues and genres. And, that changed my life. That decision right there changed my life.
Well, Kristin, I have to congratulate you as well as the outstanding role you played in Wicked as Glenda the Witch and on Glee. Huge fan there. But let's turn our attention to the album. You've worked with the legendary Bob Ezrin on this album. What did he do to pull out the best in you?
I have a very good story about him. Diane Warren is the one that kept saying, you need to do this country record. She'd seen me do a song on Glee, a country song, and she's like, you got to do it. And I said, I'm scared. I want to. I've wanted to do it since I was a little bitty, but I don't know. if I'll be accepted, what people will think. And she's like, when has that ever stopped you? And then she said, I want you to meet somebody. I want him to produce the record. Because she had 4 songs she was giving me, and she told me who he was. He produced Alice Cooper's music and Pink Floyd, and I said, yeah, but do you know what I'm trying to do here? I mean, in other words, you wouldn't put us together on paper. But when we got together that first time, to just test it out, I flew to Nashville while I was on Broadway to just see what that whole scene and vibe was like there. And we fell in love with each other. And musically, it's a great pairing. He gets something out of me that I didn't even know I could do. So he's a legend for sure, and I am the lucky one to have got him on this.
Well, you guys certainly created magic. Let's turn our attention to one of your hit songs off the album, I Want Somebody. It is so good, but why does it relate so well to women?
Well, I think, we all want somebody that's going to accept us for who and what we are. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I've had great men in my life, but I've had men who just want the good stuff. The person up on stage, or, the one that can sometimes get a table at a restaurant. Not the girl that's bloated, cranky. They don't want that necessarily. The guy that takes you with everything is the right one, and that includes somebody that you're able to bitch about a little bit, and that's what the song's about. And I think that's what everybody wants, and what everybody's looking for, and it's certainly at my age, that's what I'm looking for.
Well, Kristin, do you think that maybe I'm the guy?
I don't know. Are you single?
Yes, I am single.
Okay, well then bring it.
I'm serious. Expect flowers from me soon. But let's turn our attention to another song in there, Fathers and Daughters. This is so emotional. Tell us about this song.
Oh, I'm so glad you pointed that one out. That's my favorite. I picked it because I love Jody Marr as a songwriter, and I have sung a song of hers that is available just to my fans called Boy, that she wrote many years ago, and I picked it up 5 years ago and been singing it in concert. But she said, hey, Chris, I have another song you might like, and I heard it and I went, that's my song. That's me and my dad. It's about a relationship between a father and a daughter. And I mean, it's as if I wrote it about me and my dad. And so I knew the minute I heard it, it was my song. And obviously having a tight relationship with my dad helps it really truly come from the heart. And when I sing it, sometimes it's hard for me. I just sang it the other night on Leno, and it was hard because I think of my dad, and he's in Oklahoma, and we're tight. We talk a lot. We text each other a lot, but I miss him.
Kristin, you're such an inspiration. Thank you for opening up your heart and putting your soul into this great album. It has a lot of meaning, particularly to a lot of us. But let's turn our attention also to a brand new show that's coming out, and it's called Good Christian Girls on ABC. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this is a new show that you'll see this year on ABC. It's about 6 women who grew up together in the Bible Belt in Dallas, and let's just say that they battle their demons. It is a comedy. It is, yet it's full of hope, and that's what I love about it. As a person of faith especially, people think that Christians think they're perfect. But let me tell you something. As a Christian person, I'm the first to admit I have screwed up so much. But I know I'm forgiven, That doesn't give me an excuse to keep screwing up, but I love the honesty and the portrayal of Christian women in the South, which is a world I know very well. And it's fun. It's a big old, piece of chocolate cake. I hope people devour it.
Well, I certainly can't wait to watch. And as we close, given all your well-deserved success, what advice would you give to any of us pursuing our dreams?
Wow, I would say if you can't see yourself doing anything else, no matter what it is, nurse, fireman, teacher, accountant, whatever it is that you love, that drives you, and you can't see yourself doing anything else and being happy, then you should go for it and not let anybody tell you that you can't.
Well, Kristin, great advice. great album. You've had a great career. Look forward to giving you those flowers, and thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for talking to me.
Kristin is such a doll, and yes, I am going to send flowers, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. But what an inspiration. The album is awesome. It's called Some Lessons Learned. We're going to learn a lot when we come back here to Prague. Not only are we in a square that dates back to the 12th century, but what's inside the Gothic church there is something you're not going to want to miss. Thank you so much for watching. Are you tired of negative news? We are.
And that's why we're creating a movement.
By keeping it real.
With what you need to know. It's more than what's happening.
It's bringing hope back to our lives.
So go to conntv.com and join our movement.